What's good, YouTube? Today we're back with another market watch, and the first thing I want to go over is Gravekeeper's Command Ultra Rare is experiencing a buyout. Last time we covered Necro Valley, and Necro Valley was experiencing a buyout, but you see Light played $31 is the lowest when the norm is $8. So we go down here and they're sold out. You can't get any of them at all that are near mint here. And it doesn't exist on eBay, so the entire market has been bought out on this card. The hype surrounding these cards are so real for Necro Valley and its errata. Now, here's the thing to me. Terraforming gets Necro Valley. Why do you need Ultimate Command over Terraforming? Well, I guess in some senses, if you already were going to get Necro Valley, and then you have this in hand instead of your other Terraforming, I guess it's a level 4 monster that's 2100 in old school thinking, but most of the time, I would think if you're putting Necro Valley in, you're not putting in Terraforming or this just for it. Like, it doesn't make as much sense to me. Also, this can get Solemn Striked. I guess if you're already playing Terraforming and you really want to decide this in addition to it to make sure you get to it, it makes sense. It really, really hurts Paleo now. So, if you didn't know Necro Valley's full errata, it's pretty good. All Gravekeepers gain 500 attack and defense. The cards in the graveyard cannot be banished. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. Negate any card effect that changes types or attributes in the graveyard. Basically, it says back off my graveyard. I guess this negates stuff like Zombie World's graveyard effect as well now, because it comes out and says negate. It doesn't say like these cards cannot be. It just straight up says negate. So that's pretty cool actually in terms of its interactions and what it can stop from shenanigans from your opponent. And speaking of Necro Valley, last time I featured it, we were seeing it was, and I'll go over some more commanded stuff here in a second. Speaking of Necro Valley here, last time I featured it, it was $30, and now it's up to $39 lowest. That's pretty crazy. The hype is just so real. But this is for the Ultimate Rare, the highest version. Of course, you can still get like the common super cheap. The Ultra has yet to come out. That is the errata. And I'm reminding you guys once again, you need a written translation for Necro Valley now if you are playing an older version. Which is fine, you know, you can print out what the new one does, or you can write down word for word what it does. I'm lazy, I would probably print it. But it's basically considered a foreign card since it's been errated, and this is no longer what it does over here. So, over here on eBay, Very Light played 35, and then we see it's actually a little more expensive than 40, $42.67, so just very, very interesting to see the hype train continue. Now, I did want to remind people that there are a ton of versions of Commandant, but they're all going up. Every single version of it is going up overall. But what's super interesting is there's an Ultra version that's pretty cheap. $3 for a Legendary Collection Yugi's World Ultra. So if you're wanting to get your hollowed out Commandant still, there's a pretty easy way to do so, but there's very, very low quantities, so I expect these to fly off the shelves. There's only 10 results here, and I don't know how many are here, but I'm pretty sure it says 25 total prices. Let's kind of scroll through. Yeah, most people have one, so I expect pretty fast that this is going to rise to like $5 overall. But if you want your hollowed out Gravekeeper's Commandant, you can't afford the Ultimate now that it's spiked so hard, this is probably one to do. And I would sell your Ulti Commandants right now, by the way. I don't think it's merited. Like I said, you can Solemn Strike this card. That's something you can't do to Terraforming. Actually, let's on the fly go look at Terraforming Super real quick. I just want to find out. All versions of Terraforming have been slowly going up. So it's a little over 18, market price 19 some odd. Yeah, it's about where it was, 1855. So it's been turning slowly a little bit down compared to where I showed it last. I think last time I showed it was 21. So 18's not bad. Let's make sure on eBay too. Terraforming AP. 20, okay. Lowest first, 25 copies. Yep, so it's been just slowly trending downwards. Again, if you're playing the decks that have field spells, that's typically when Necro Valley goes in, when it's already going to be searchable. But I suppose if you're not playing Terraforming, Command It could be the better option. I still don't like that it can get Solemn Striked. I think that would be a terrible feeling to you if Paleo went first set up and then you're, oh, my Command It, Solemn Strike. That'd be a terrible feeling, right? Absolute King Backjack talking about Palios is getting bought out. It's at $3. I featured this when it was 50 cents. I actually told you guys, hey guys, this is 50 cents right now. I'd pick up your set. I think it could go to $2. Well, it's exceeding expectations a little over here on TCG Player. Very, very few copies available on the market, period. And it didn't go up because of me. It went up because of the format and Paleo winning 2 YCSs. And it's 2 price plus shipping lowest first. So you see it's only about 2 on eBay, much cheaper. Again, why I suggest to check both. $6 for a playset instead of 9 seems a lot nicer, but there's only 24 results, so there's not many left. If you've been holding off, it's $2. I'd still consider getting it around that. It's pretty cheap for a gold secret. You know, Hope Harbinger's way more expensive. But again, this is very specific towards very, very few decks that you'll be playing this. Chain Burn, possibly, with your card of demise to set up things like Balanced Scales, or whatever that card is called. It's the Solemn Judgment with the scales, but it's really good with it. So Chain Burn and Paleo are the only 2 decks that I can think of that would play it in the meta. But tell me more decks below that you would be playing it in. Of course, Burning Abyss has been able to use it in the past as well. Dirac Alio is seeing a slow but steady buyout as the Hidden Arsenal now passes $3. I'd suggested to get your Hidden Arsenal version earlier, and we see the DT is actually not too much more at 6. This person has 36 of them at 664. They're like, yes, I bought my DT4 cheap for Trish. Let's go ahead, because if you remember, DT4 got restocked on clearance a while back, and that's why the market blended with DT Trish's. So this is just an extra plus for those people that had it, and you shouldn't expect it to go too much higher because the quantity should be very high on it. But we see over here $3 and quickly rising to 4 on eBay. So there's actually more copies over here that are cheaper for a bit. 16 and 5 copies holding the line. So it's a one of. I expect it to slowly go back down. A lot of people probably rush saying, I need to get mine now, or it got bought out by vendors. There's not really any telling. I'm pretty sure the hype this early, it wasn't a natural occurrence. But at the same time, $3, again, not the worst for a card. I would pick your own bulk first, see if you have a Hidden Arsenal Super, if you played that long ago. It's kind of justified. It's a very old card at this point, Hidden Arsenal 4. But like I said, the DTs should actually remain pretty cheap, because there should be a lot of vendors that have it who bought those Hidden Arsenal 4s. Dimensional Barrier is hanging at the 70 point again. 69, 70, 70, 70. It's very hard to get one for cheap. And we see it again over here, 72, 72. So TCG players have really been throwing the blows back at eBay. But again, there's a point where eBay's just going to win as well. Very interesting to see it so back and forth lately. Competition is good for the consumers. Dimensional Barrier being this price is pretty crazy. It's just remaining up there. The ban list came out, didn't affect it. Everybody's faith is restored. Everybody's buying it. They know they need it for national season. What do you guys think? I actually pulled up the sales on this, and it's selling 73. And as you see previously, the reason I'm bringing it up at 70, it was selling cheaper, 63, 67, 65, 65. It was a bit lower because of the ban list scare for a little tiny bit. People were getting away with some deals, 2 for 120, super cheap. People were jumping ship, and now everybody knows to keep it. It's just pretty interesting. Solemn Strike, somebody had told me it was around 40s, and they're lower than that, so I just wanted to stop misconception. But they are above market price. There was a small bump on them. You see the 29, it's 33, 31. They are actually 40 over here on the Bosch. So it does make sense that people might forget, oh, it's going, but you always check both versions. Of course, the Mega Pack is going to be cheaper, and a lot of people only care about what's the cheapest version I can play on a card like this, where they're both secret. They're both, you know, they look the same. And we see Mega Pack here, it's 32, 33, so its bump is across the board. Ew, those Oricas. Now let's go ahead and look at Bosch first here. Sorry to make you look at that stuff. Bosch first is actually pretty much cheaper on eBay as well. So this is why you always check both. You have one copy available here, and then it's 35 still. But this entire playset would be much cheaper than anything you were getting over here, as this is Bosch first set. But there's only 12 copies, so yeah, they are certainly very low quantities. So thanks for sending that one in. It's a slight bump that I wouldn't have noticed myself. People often comment with cards or PM the channel page, and I'll take a look and assess it for myself on what's happening with them. And then finally, Totally Awesome is still trending upwards. 54 versus its norm market price of 48. It's just kind of sitting where its initial bump got it to. And you see over here on eBay, it's actually much cheaper. So eBay traded the blows back here. If you're looking for Totally Awesome and you're spending cash, go to eBay. I think it'll continue to slowly trend, maybe to like 45, but it's such a good card. And it's going to be very, very strong in this format. Protecting Imperial Order with a Totally Awesome. Oh, that's going to give everybody fits. But thanks, everybody, for watching this Market Watch. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did. I know I've done a few the past few days in a row, but so much is actually happening. And the response I actually got from adding more ads yesterday was funny. A lot of people were like laughing at the ads that popped up. I'm never going to do non-skippable ads, and I'm going to do the same with this one and insert a couple more. And I just want to see what it does to my analytics. And in my next Market Watch, I'll actually share to you guys what it does for my analytics and what it does for me, and if it's worth it. And if it's not worth it, obviously I'm not going to continue it. But tell me what kind of ads pop up, what it does for your experience. Only 2 people, I think, complained on the last one, and a lot of people actually found it funny. And I'm never, like I said, never going to do non-skippable ads. Screw that. I want you guys to be able to X out and continue what you're doing and watching. So, again, thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and sell out, boys.